All right, we're starting at 7:05. And for the benefit of the minutes, I'm going to read off the attendees here in a moment. Okay, we have Timothy Perkins, Brad Lee, Kenny Cernak, Marion Skinner, Matt Rao, Peter Vandenberg, Risto Rushford, Pablo Serrato, Travis West, Will Hobson, and William Johnson Jr. And with 6 directors, we have a quorum. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm gonna put up the agenda. All right, here's the agenda. I'll note that I haven't received any minutes from the secretary, so that will be being skipped over at this point. Are there any updates needed for the agenda?
Question, in the event that Katie does not attend, does that block any affiliate business?
No, we can, particularly since it's on the agenda, but we have, well, you initiated some email conversations about it, so hopefully the directors are prepared to move forward on that. And I would be able to present briefly on each of them, or you could for that matter, as well as I believe we have the chair for Sherman County in here as well, Mr. West. So I think we're well equipped to handle that matter this evening, even if Kitty's not here. All right, is there a motion to approve this agenda?
A motion to approve.
Will moves.
Second.
William Johnson Jr. seconds. Is there any objection? Hearing none, it is done. All right, we're past approval of the agenda. There are no minutes. The consent agenda is, I believe, vacant, but there is a pending motion. Taylor, Ricky moved, and Bradley seconded a motion to approve the Sherman County application. But that piece of unfinished business we'll deal with under the relevant director's report. But no, any director should correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe any business was conducted by email in between meetings. Open forum. Observers may speak on any agenda item. We have several observers in here this evening. Welcome, Marion, Matt, Risto, Mr. West. If any of you have something that you'd like to speak on, that is on, if any of you have something on this agenda that you'd like to comment on, now would be the time. And there will be another time at the end if you have something of general interest.
I just wanted to apologize. I thought that I had nominated Brad to be the member development director, which is why I've been absent from the last meetings. I think you all know me. I don't think I ever no-showed to a director's meeting. So that is my apologies. So we'll get that corrected this evening. But
it is possible that you did it and I didn't update the agenda correctly. But we'll make double sure of it this evening.
Great. Well, happy to be here. Happy to see you all. I saw Kenny last night. Just I gave him some donations. But yeah, happy to be here.
Thanks, sir. chiming in. And unless another observer chimes up, going once, going twice. All right, we'll move along to reports of officers. I'm the chair. The National Party has had a meeting earlier this week. Not anything that I would describe as the National Party's LNC, the Libertarian National Committee, had a meeting. I wouldn't say that there was anything of specific interest to Oregon, but as usual, I invite everyone to follow the LNC business list. And if you need any help finding that, I'm happy to direct you to where you can follow it. It's a public list and you can keep up with the goings on of the National Party. Here at home, it was mostly a quiet month. A lot of time obviously spent with friends and family, one of the busiest times of the year. And I'm excited to get cracking on what we need to do leading up to the director election, both for the board of directors as well as for the public policy board, and of course our convention in May. So that's it for me. Very short. Are there any questions? Hearing none, we'll move along to the vice chair's report. Will.
By the way, I just got a text from Taylor. He's trying to get off work. He's running late, so he'll try to join us if he's able to.
I should briefly mention Rachel Salo texted me to ask for an excused absence. Today is her daughter's 4th birthday, and she wanted to spend some time with the kids after work.
Of course. Yeah, I did nail down the deposit with Sean Garner Dance. I have paid from my own pocket $1,000 to secure the $1,000 deposit, and we'll probably bring up compensation for that at some other point in the meeting. Been doing a lot of outreach on social media and other places on the internet for the big, there was recently a big announcement of a big event the National Party was doing in concert with a bunch of other coalition groups called Rage Against the War Machine. It's going to be in DC. I will be flying out to that and representing Libertarian Party of Oregon. And if in official capacity, if the board of the public policy board deems it so, in a unofficial smaller L libertarian fashion, if they don't, but I would hope that they would get behind that. But yes, if anyone is interested, you can go to, thank you, Pablo, for posting in the chat, rageagainstwar.com. It's a really great initiative. I think it's going to bring a lot of people closer to us ideologically. It's going to strengthen the anti-war movement. I think it's going to do a lot of really nice things. So that's great. I haven't been as proactive with trying to help form all the different committees. I have been crusading to form prior to the convention. I recently started a new job, and now my time management skills were never that great to begin with. So if anyone has any advice on great time management, tricks or tips, let me know. But Pablo has been helping me with suggestions for like apps and things to help out that. But definitely want to get back at that and help form the committees and get them meeting regularly and monthly for the campaign committee, the affiliate committee, and the fundraising committee. And yeah, there's probably a bunch of other things too I'm not thinking of right now. So if anybody has any questions, I can answer them.
Will, would we be ready to announce the date of the convention on the website at this point? time, date?
Yes, we can definitely, I think we can definitely announce the date. It's locked in. I have the flyer ready to go. After this meeting, we're going to have a quick meeting of the convention committee to set a time and to maybe flesh out a really quick to-do list for the next month for the different members of the committee. And so yes, please announce the date. For right now, time is to be announced. Hopefully we can get a specific time that we feel like we can do and we're comfortable with at the meeting after this meeting. So
It will be the Sunday before Memorial Day, just to, be specific.
yes.
Okay.
Convention is absolutely 100% May 28th, Sunday, 2023 at Sean Gardner Dance Studio in Tigard.
Be there or be square dancing.
Or square dance there, I don't care, but be there, yeah.
Are there any questions for the vice chair? Any further questions, I should say? Okay, thank you very much, Will. We have a treasurer. Hi, Kenny.
Hello. So I'm behind in all kinds of stuff, both with the LPO and personal, but we currently have about $2,249 and change, I think, in the bank. We had $1,270 come in via online donations in December, although it looks like we may want to refund some of that. So Timothy,
Yes.
do we need to refund a thing? Do we need authorization for that?
I think that you'll need to talk to the individual in question, and then
Okay.
depending on what is requested, just do that motion by email.
What is this in regards to?
Recurring billing. Someone wasn't able to cancel their automatic donation to the LPO. And
Okay,
so
They-
we are
they-
currently in receipt of the funds and therefore may need to make a motion to disperse the funds back to.
Yeah.
the
They
person.
made a donation, and then an annual recurring donation happened for a greater amount, and he said he wasn't able to afford that. So, and didn't remember it was set up or something, but he did also make an intentional donation. So just
Huh.
looking to get him back the money for the unintentional one.
do we know how much that is going to be?
Yeah, $50 would be the refunded amount.
Okay, could we make that motion now to just approve Kenny's, ability to refund that?
I guess yeah, I don't see any reason we can't reauthorize a refund in the event that it's needed. I'm just trying to think of how that should be worded.
To either refund or disperse $50 to
Okay,
gentleman in question.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion. I motion to refund
so
or
just-
disperse. Sorry.
Just one moment. I'm just trying to think whether we would need to handle this in executive session so as not to be dealing with individual names and not posting their names on YouTube and stuff. So I'm going to actually request for the sake of not exactly convenience, but it's a little easier than editing the recording.
You want to
before it
do
goes on
that?
YouTube, if we just do
Go
it
into
by
executive
email.
session after.
We
Oh,
can go
okay.
into executive session after, if that's what you guys would prefer, or we could just not, we could just send out an email.
Email
either way.
works. I'll send
Okay.
an email out.
Yeah, if you do it right now, I'll second it and get it going. So
Okay, great. Yeah, just don't want to be accidentally crossing any lines. Thank you, guys.
Okay. So I think since I asked my question, I think I'm good. Does anybody else have questions? Oh, I worked with Pablo on getting something set up and we messed it up. And so I'm gonna try and work with him again later this week to get it fixed.
I have a question for Kenny. Do we know how much of the December donations were attributable to the end of the year ask that was made about that referenced the $50 credit?
No, but
You can probably look at dates of when the donations came in versus when the ask went out.
yeah. Yeah, does anyone remember what day that was sent out?
I believe it was New Year's Eve,
uh,
or the week of. I actually don't know. Don't remember. It was the final week of. It was. I don't recall off the top of my head. Sorry, but I
Yeah,
thought it was a
correct.
great idea that Bradley had.
Well, 9/10 came in on December 31st. Or since after Christmas, I'll say.
All right, a good chunk of it.
the fundraising email came in, went out on December 19th. And then we did a text blast. I think I can't remember when we did the text blast, but it was like the 30th. It was right at the end of the year.
Great work, folks.
All
Any
right.
other questions?
Would it be possible, Kenny, since I'm not constantly bugging you during the week when you're busy with your job you do for money, would it be possible to get the login information so I can check the balance on the bank account so I don't have to bug you? I'm going to start helping form the fundraising committee, and one of us on the fundraising committee, I think, are you on the fundraising committee actually? I actually don't know that for certain. One second. Anyway, we're going to get the fundraising committee meeting monthly, and that might help me not pester you with endless questions of like, what donation amounts are the most common, when are things coming in after we do like an email push. Fundraising committee.
That's an option. I would probably want the board to authorize that. But
Of
I don't
course.
have an inherent issue with it. Another option might be to have you copied on emails that are to the treasurer, as that's where receipt emails go, but I don't know.
Whatever the board's comfortable with. I would just having access to the information would be good for strategic planning and figuring this stuff out.
Right. So, Kenny, are you willing to look into what options there are for notifying, having notifications get forwarded to Will?
For email, you mean?
Right. Well, or I mean, maybe we can even set it up to where he can text it and request to get an updated balance or something along these lines.
Okay. Yeah, I
Um,
can look into that.
Does that? You're probably going right now. I believe myself and Kenny are both on the authorized on the bank account, and then
Sure. Yeah, I don't need to make any like decisions.
Yeah,
I just want the info. Like,
yeah.
Although I guess if I am going to be chair, I probably
the more users there are on account, on an account, the higher the chances of problems
Oh, yeah.
related to it. And so I,
Totally understand.
nothing about you, obviously.
Yeah.
So if it works for you, Will, Kenny will look into what can be set up for letting you get easy and or immediate access to that information.
Okay, thank you.
And maybe we'll just authorize you to log into the bank account depending on what Kenny finds out. So
Yes, if I'm going to be the chair in like 5 months, then it's probably makes sense. So if I get elected,
right.
so still have to get elected.
Okay. Any further questions for the treasurer? Hearing none. The secretary is not present at this time. We'll come back to the secretary's report if needed. So we'll move along to reports of committees and directors. Fundraising, William Johnson Jr.
Yeah, I've been been seeing you guys do a lot, and it's awesome. I appreciate it. The party appreciates it. Good job on the asking for the $50 donations. That's awesome. I'm glad it was such a success. But I am personally, life is just still too crazy, and I just moved, and sorry I missed the meeting last week or last month. I didn't have a internet and place to do the meeting. So but I can't move forward and be the fundraising director anymore. I never was doing a good job. So somebody else has got to take over. I can't keep doing that. I got to figure out how best to support Liberty and the party, but I am sorry guys, I'm just way too busy at this time.
On a personal note, may I ask where you moved to? I'm wondering if you're closer or further away from me.
About the same distance from you. Yeah. Honestly, Four Corners area.
Okay, great.
I already updated my registration. So, of course, but yeah, I apologize again. I just feel bad. I had high hopes, but I will try to, get my act together here, and
Okay.
hopefully the universe will align and I can support the party on these various committees. So.
All right. Will, who else is on the fundraising committee? I think you just took a look at that.
Yes, so let's take a look here. Right now we have William Johnson, myself, Nicholas Coltenbach, Michelle Bird, Timothy, you're on here as well. Taylor Rickey, Marion Skinner, Aiden Parker, and Nick Tones. So
Okay. And we have emails for each of those people, presumably.
we have emails and we have phone numbers for all but one, Nick.
Okay, so if we could contact them, let them know that we need someone to step up to lead as fundraising director.
Well, is it possible for us to select if William, are you stepping down right now?
I guess that would be good to clarify.
Yes, and I will step down and effective immediately. I would like to stay on the committee and hopefully,
Sure.
attend the meetings and go, but I can't wrap my head around leading anything right now.
Understandable. Since I am going to be calling for the first meeting, I could offer myself to be this chair of this committee and then hand it off to the most capable person at the first meeting of the fundraising committee. Hopefully that will be happening in the next either next week or
I'm fine with that, but I warn you that if you
Yeah.
put yourself there, then you'll probably get left there. Whereas if you put out a plea for help, you might get help.
Well, then I can call for a meeting though.
Well, you could just inquire as to whether any of those individuals are willing to step up and then forward to the board a motion to appoint that person as the director without needing to coordinate that many people to get into a meeting.
For the sake of speed, I would
Okay.
like
Great.
to be chair, and then I
All
can
right,
call
so
for the meeting.
Go ahead and make the motion.
Okay, I can make a motion for myself to be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'll make a motion to have myself be the chair of the fundraising committee.
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
Oh, I think I beat you to it. I don't usually.
You did. You did a good job.
All right, Will Hobson moved, Timothy seconded. Is there any objection to Will Hobson being the chair of the fundraising committee? I didn't expect that there would be. All right,
That's all right. I have a question for Willie. Are you interested in at all in being involved in the social media? Because we could always use some help there, especially on the LPO side. I think we have a lot of
Yeah.
public policy board resolutions being passed. We could use being
Mhm.
promoted.
Yeah, yeah, my issue is I don't have time, like I've got kids in here, spelling tests, you know what I mean, bath night and stuff. I've got little kids running around, so it's hard for me to make meetings, but I'm trying to find something on Thursday nights if you have something on Thursdays when they're at their mom's.
More talking about just tweeting from your phone or Instagram or
Yeah, I don't even social media. No, I don't
Right.
social media at all, really.
No
I
worries.
don't, I
Thanks.
don't even tweet, so yeah. And I'm not on Discord at all still. I just haven't gone. I don't have time to do it.
okay. I think that's it for fundraising, unless there are any further questions.
This isn't a question, but this is an offer. I would, if there is a gap to be made in order to pay off Sean Gardner's studio, I'm willing to pledge a matching of $500 if we can. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but like people can double their money up to $500 if we can, if that'll help us move the needle on filling whatever we need for
Great.
the convention.
Thank you, Pablo. That is really great. I don't know if we have a gap per se. The deposit has been made and we have enough in the account right now to make a disbursement to reimburse Will for that deposit. And then we don't know technically what fundraising is going to look like between now and the convention, but I would anticipate we would get enough to cover that. So I don't know if there's a gap, but if you're willing to just say that you're willing to match funds expressly for the purpose of funding the convention, that would be easier to say, yes, that will happen.
Okay, so but yeah, whoever wants to help get the word out, would love to make sure that we are well funded going into convention.
Great, thank you so much. All right, I'll mention to you, Will, since you're currently the fundraising chair, that when there was the survey that got sent out for locations and dates for the convention, a number of people said that they would be willing to fund for the Tigard location specifically. And so you might want to pull those emails and send a follow-up saying, hey, we have matching funds right now, and make sure that we take Pablo's $500.
Yeah, good idea. I'll write that down.
And I'm willing to help you find that list if you would like help. Okay, I'm glad I stopped and asked for help on for any further questions or comments on fundraising. Also, I'll do it again. Thank you again, Pablo. Are there any further items for fundraising? All right, hearing none, we'll move along to campaigns. Will.
Yes, so at this point, this is kind of all tangential into getting all the committees spun up and meeting regularly. I'm going to ask a question actually of everyone else. Do you think that Wednesdays are good days to get like business things like this done? It seems like a lot of us are able to meet and available. What I could do is like the Wednesday after these meetings, when we have all this information from the board, maybe we could have those Wednesday evenings be the set times we have like maybe some rapid fire meetings of these committees. Like we have, like I kind of want to cluster them all in one spot so I'm not forgetting them all, and like people kind of have a set time each week where we try to get business done. Maybe do like at 8:30 or 8, do like a 30-minute session of the campaigns committee, and then switch off to like a 30-minute session of the fundraising committee. Does that sound like a good idea?
I'm a big fan of picking a date. I am not certain that it will, like, I think I might already have conflicting obligations for the second Wednesday of next month.
Is there a date beside that would be good for people to get?
Or not the second Wednesday, but the third Wednesday. Sorry.
Third, yeah, sure.
We're meeting on the second Wednesday. I meant the third Wednesday.
Yeah. Or maybe the Tuesday before these meetings, like, or
Anyway, I am a big fan of setting a meeting, and you don't need to have it all revolve around me.
sure, yeah.
Can you poll?
Yeah.
Since we have the emails for all of the committee members, right?
Yes.
We should be able to poll everyone, and then
Yes.
just go with whatever date most people are available.
Yeah, I will say Matt Rowe, who is in this meeting, has shown interest in leading the campaigns committee. And I guess if you're available right now to say something really quick on, you know, a vision you might have for the campaigns committee, if you're so interested, now would be a good time to maybe say something. I don't know if
Be
you're.
glad to hear from you, Matt.
Yeah.
No, I had a nice talk with Will some weeks ago because I saw that he announced for chair, and I saw that there seems to be a very good team forming on top of an already good and accomplished team to really, push the party in a bold direction here in the next couple of years. And looking at the legislative districts that are up in particular in the 2024 cycle and the narrow margins that are going to be at play, I really think there's a significant opportunity for the party not only to be relevant, but to be determinative and who ends up controlling the state Senate and deciding who has a supermajority in the state House. And that kind of relevancy will bring press coverage and opportunity. And I think we're in a unique position. And I've got a lot of experience doing this stuff. I've been involved in journalism or politics one way or the other since 2003. I've held elected office, obviously, as a lot of you know. I'm serving on the policy committee. My views aren't always popular, but this isn't a policy position. This is just a political position. And I look at the Libertarian Party as anybody who wants to improve this failed system of government we have is my ally. And I think that's how we need to look at the party approach in candidate recruitment. And so I guess I'll hold it at that. I would have prepared some remarks if I knew I was going to be called up. But no, I am interested. At the same time, I don't want to rush anybody into making any decisions, but I'd be glad to step up. I have experience with this kind of stuff, and I'm glad to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Rao?
I don't have any questions, but if the board would deem it appropriate, I would like to ask that Matt Rowe be put on the campaigns committee, just so it's a little bit quicker when we meet later to kind of get things going. So I'd like to motion to elect Matt Rowe to the campaign committee.
And I would like a second.
Will moves and Pablo seconds. Is there any objection? I didn't think so. Welcome on board.
Thank you.
And is there anyone else that is interested on being on the campaigns committee that isn't already on there right now? I'm on there serving as the chair for the moment. LJ Mills is also on there, Michelle Bird, Brad Lee, and now Matt is on there.
And if you're wondering, it is Rao. I could hear Will a little hesitant on that Rao thing. It is Rao.
Rao. Okay. All right. Just double. Thank you.
No, we say it weird.
No, that's fine. That sounds good. Rao. Okay. Matt Rao. All right. Cool. Excellent. That's all I've got for that. Yeah. And I guess really briefly, I am looking forward to creating a campaigns, training document and putting in systems in place to have a successful 2024 and getting that work done now.
Couple questions for Matt. Just I'm updating the document with primary the election committee. What county are you in?
Coos County.
Coos. And then the second question mark, more a statement. In Multnomah County, we've been thinking about local nonpartisan elections as one of the most viable ways that we could see a libertarian begin to hold office. And as part of that, there's not volunteer opportunities and other civic organizations that one could volunteer for in order to build up a resume that would then make them a stronger candidate. We have two documents that were prepared by our members, one by Risto Rushford, which is sort of a lay of the land of Multnomah County and Portland City. It's a rich resource, a directory of data of who's in what position, when it's up for election, if it's paid or it's a volunteer, if it's elected. I'd like to share that. I'm going to send you an email with that information. And then Michelle Bird has gone and aggregated all the school board elections that are happening in 2023, which I think is also nonpartisan, but also an interesting area where vitally important to liberty, vitally important to freedom. And I wonder if these are things that you'd consider as part of your purview as the election committee ramps up for 2023.
Absolutely. The only reason I didn't comment on the nonpartisan district races coming up is I feel like it would be dishonest for me to make a serious commitment to races this close to the actual date. It's difficult to project, especially because they come right after the November elections. It's hard to keep volunteers or potential candidates energized after the November payoff to try and ramp them back up for May. So that's something that you've got to be developing back in the fall. But anything you've got, any relationships, any candidates, I say go for it, because one, you're going to get some local press, hopefully, or at least some social media chatter. Two, it's just good experience. And I would say the best thing any of these folks can do is just write a letter to a board secretary, whether for a planning commission, the school board, or a city budget committee. Most of these places, it is not as insular as you think. These positions are required by law or often by ordinance or charter amendment or provision. And so they're often in need of these bodies. And so they're often grateful to have anybody, as long as they can pass a criminal background check, to do these positions. And once you get that in, and then you start developing those relationships, it's not just that they see you as less threatening and they actually know you as a person and not just an opposition to the establishment. It does just build incredible credibility with the voters. And so I would say that's the key, is getting in the entry level appointed positions and those service organizations, Kiwanis, chambers of commerce, even though they're often crony capitalist organizations, they're great political networking organizations. So without taking up any more of your time, I'll leave it at that. But no, nonpartisan districts are the building blocks, and city council seats are the building blocks of hopefully winning legislative seats one day. 100% with you on that.
Thank you.
All right, is that everything for campaigns?
Yes, for me.
Okay, hearing nothing further, we have public relations. Also, Will Hobson.
I've been trying to keep up with the Public Policy Board and releasing their statements, and should probably release a few more. I think there's some that I missed in there. Really quickly, I do want to say our Mises Caucus social media, while this isn't really part of the LPO, we did have an interesting gentleman who lived in Germany who actually was able to, wasn't able for medical reasons to receive the COVID vaccine because he has MS and would have likely garnered a severe medical reaction from that. There's I want to post some more of his stories and stuff, but I just wanted to give an update. He recently made it out of Germany, escaped to a much freer country. I think he's in Sao Paulo right now, in that city, and I think he's going to be doing some tech work, but he was able to get to a much freer place. But anyway, we have cool content like that on the Oregon LPMC Twitter handle if you want to check it out. Love someday to post cool stuff like that on our state Twitter if we can figure out how to do so. But maybe the Public Policy Board might want to approve that. But I've been posting a lot about the Rage Against the War event. I've been networking, been talking directly to the members in the People's Party to help with the coordination for that event. So people see that, Oregon libertarians are willing to work in coalitions with different groups to achieve, policy objectives. I think that will help grow the party in the future. Let's see, what else did we do? I sent out emails for fundraising for the write-up before the end of the year, and it looks like we raised over $1,000, so that's great. And that's some of the public relations we've done. And I think I can't remember if this was done. Was this done in December? Did they have the high school event in December with that?
Catholic Central, I think,
was that,
in
November?
That was December.
Early December. Okay.
Okay. So all right. So we already talked about it if it was early December.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, that was also a cool event, and I'd love to do more events like that. So.
All right, great. Any questions for public relations?
Sure, just one question. Thanks for the shout out on the Oregon Mises Caucus social media. We're nearing 2,500 followers on Twitter, although we're happy to hopefully Scott Hort will be reinstated. That was really unfortunate. My question is regards to what will it take to get some members of the Public Policy Board access to the LPO social media? I think we have a lot of resolutions we passed recently. Be happy to add more people there to promote them. Is that just a simple board vote?
Yeah, so any members of the Public Policy Board, not public relations, I got Public Relations and Public Policy Board, it's starting to get mixed up. Any members of the Public Policy Board that are wanting to be appointed to the Public Relations Committee, should apply, and we can add them.
Is that what it takes then? Just you have to be a member of the Public Relations Committee?
Right. So
okay.
That's generally the barrier to getting access to our social media.
And we can do that here right now. So Peter, if you'd like to be on
right.
Public Relations Committee.
And I should clarify, sorry, the Public Relations Committee can't add its own members. This board has to. So now is exactly when that should happen.
And
I would
just to
accept
clarify,
that nomination.
Sorry, what was that, Kenny?
I was going to say, I think if I'm remembering the debate properly, part of the reason for that was to have a check on the Public Policy Board's ability to outreach, right? And don't take that question as not supporting it. I just want to make sure everyone currently on the board is aware that that was, if I'm remembering right, that was part of the discussion and why it was set up the way it is.
Right. So so what Kenny is referring to is that there was the thought that the Public Policy Board wouldn't have separate social media, and in order to promulgate its opinions, it would need to use the board's social media, since the board handles the social media. But I actually, I think that that may have been done away with in the final version
Okay.
of the bylaws amendment, if I recall correctly, and we can pull it up if needed. I believe that under the authority, the powers get granted to the Public Policy Board includes the use of LPO social media. So if you'll bear with me for just a moment, we'll try to pull that up.
Little side note, has anyone been able to get on to like our constitution, or is this, wait a second, on our website? These
Yeah,
are the,
that's what I am hopefully sharing on my screen right now.
oh, okay, all right, great, sorry. The other day I wasn't pulling up.
That's the bylaws. Yeah, I do. There is a couple of issues on the, there's a page, I know what you're talking about, Will. There's a couple of bugs that I noticed the other day on the Constitution, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that.
Okay,
So
Cool.
highlighted
As long as
on
I'm
my
not the only
screen,
person.
is what I believe is the relevant part that I was thinking of. Under their authority, they can oversee public communications related to LPO, public policy positions, and platform. So
And they can't-
I think, Kenny, that it was part of the debate, I think, in crafting it, but I think that it ended up going this way.
All right, thank you very much.
To be clear, like we would only be supporting resolutions that have been passed.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, of course. Yeah.
yeah, I think Kenny
think
was
Kenny-
just trying to make sure it was all on the up and up.
Exactly. Making sure that we were following our own rules. I appreciate it.
Appreciate that, Mr. Secretary.
I would like to nominate, Peter, did you want to be on there and carry out this function?
Yes, I would. I would like to enlist some other members as well, but
Yeah,
happy to do it.
list them now.
I think that we have at least one other member of the, or two, three, okay, there might several members of the Public Policy Board in the meeting this evening.
Yeah, so Travis is already on there,
Okay.
on the Public Relations
On
Committee.
public relations, I'm sorry.
And
They both start with public and my brain can't handle it.
yeah, we need to streamline. But there's me as the chair, Timothy, you're on here, Rachel Solo's on here, and Travis West. So Peter, we can put Peter on here, and who else are you thinking, Peter?
I'll communicate with them. No one else at this time.
Okay, so all right, I nominate to elect Peter to the Public Relations Committee. And
I second that.
Okay. Will moves and Brad seconds. Let's go ahead and have a quick vote. I'll go ahead and you know what? We don't need a roll call vote though.
Sorry, can I interrupt real quick? I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. I know that Sonia Fintech would also want to do this. She's not here, but I think it would be proper to add her as well. She's expressed interest.
I believe that she's also the secretary of the Public Policy Board.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. Will and Brad, do you want to amend the motion?
yes, I would like to amend the motion to include Sonia Fintech.
Okay. And Brad, you've seconded, do you have any objection to that?
No objection.
Okay. All right. All in favor of adding Peter Vandenberg and Sonia Fintech to the Public Relations Committee, please say aye.
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 Aye. Are there any nays?
I vote aye. Oh, sorry, I was on mute.
Thank you, Pablo. Okay. That was a majority with you chiming in there.
I am abstaining on this one.
Okay, thank you, Kenny. All right, so that motion passes. Peter, would you please inform Sonia as well?
I will. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And Will, of course, you can onboard them since you have access to everything.
What don't I have access to?
I think you have access to pretty much everything except for like the emails of people of the, you know, the emails that aren't yours.
Let's see here. I thought Sonia's info was already on here. All right. Somewhere in this document. Guess not. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Anything else for public relations? All right. Thank you, everyone. We will move along to information technology. Pablo.
Well, since we last met, I've been able to make a little bit of progress in terms of looking at the LPO voting app, as well as the Election Buddy app that we would like to use in the upcoming board elections. At this point, I think I'm just ready to replicate the ballot that we had in 2021 and run that through the election app, create some test data, figure out how we can then export that data, and then along with some other members of our IT committee, look at the PHP code that the election app is, that the LPO election app is written in, so that we can determine how to import that data. I see in the code comments that refer to the single transferable vote method that's required, the right or white method. And yeah, but I'm trying to understand how we would then take presumably an export of data and then get it counted again. But principally, it looks like it's pretty simple, and the code hasn't been touched in 10 years. So looking forward to testing it and making sure that it's ready to ship as soon as possible. At which point we can coordinate, and I'm not sure, the board elections, are those under any specific board member? Would I be working with you, Timothy, to sort of work on a timeline?
So we can adopt a timeline at any point.
Okay.
And I myself would be interested in potentially setting a date by which people need to apply. I believe our bylaws require that folks submit a statement along with their candidacy of no less than 100 words. And I think it'd be great if we could give people a date by which they need to apply to run, so that we can then put that out as an announcement and get people on board.
Okay, then I think you and I should speak at some point in the next week, the next 7 days, to start that process. And IT committee would then put that on the website. We could work on sending out an email, publish it to social media, and make sure that we get good coverage. The test run for this was how we ran the announcement of the public policy board over the summer, which I think was, pretty direct, pretty simple. Then yeah, get everything in place so that we can have a very smooth first online election.
Okay, good. I just had a thought and now I just lost it. So was somebody else starting to say something? Wow, I wish I remembered, but
Okay,
I think
I'll move on to the next sort of
Please.
related topic I wanted to cover, which is yeah, I've been working to make sure that when the public policy board has a resolution, that we get them on the LPO News Center. In doing so, we've accumulated a lot of content on the News Center, and I realized when Peter pointed out that some of the older posts weren't showing up, and the pagination is inexplicably broken on the page, so you can only see the first page of news. So, and we have a high class problem that we have so many resolutions and so much content that we push the older stuff off. So I went back and I tagged those posts about public policy and created a public policy page that will just show content related to public policy on the LPO website. So that's available at lpo.org/category/public-policy. We'll figure out how to make that more elegant, hopefully soon. But that's kind of your one-stop shop to see what the great work that our public policy board has been doing.
would you mind dropping that link in the chat real quick?
Absolutely, we'll drop that in the chat. Yeah, and then Will also pointed out a bug where the about the Libertarian Party of Oregon page is not, it displays links about bylaws and ideology, but the links don't go anywhere. So I'm not sure if that was,
I just navigated to it from the menu.
okay.
That
Try to
like
click statement of principles or policy and see what are you able to get anywhere? You're on the bylaws page, but if you're going to about and about the LPO,
oh, about the LPO. Got it.
actually, I think it's the top level. Yeah, that's it. This page, those links aren't linking to anything. So I'm gonna go in later and just replace these blocks with URLs. And
Yeah, something broke at some point because it used to be that when you clicked on it, it would do a drop down of text. But yeah, something broke there.
so that's broken, and I'm gonna add that. I'm keeping all things that need to be worked on a Google Sheet called LPO IT Committee Backlog, which is right now about 30 items of varying priority. Maybe in our conversation, we can just check in on that and make sure that we're looking at the right problems to solve. And then the other thing is, now that we have good information on the date and location of the committee, expect information to go out on the events page that will say the time, date, and the date and location of the 2023 convention. I'm not sure if that fulfills our notice, our bylaws notice.
It needs to be on the front page.
Okay.
But it also definitely should be on events. And I was actually going to inquire if we can put a sidebar of important upcoming events that we particularly want to draw attention to. Like, yes, it is important that Will is having the Oregon Libertarian podcast on Fridays, but it may not be something that we want to call attention to as much as a convention or a director election. So
that's a good idea. So director elections is one, the convention is another. Any other important dates top of mind that we can we should be thinking about?
those are what we have coming up. And then if we don't have something that's immediately coming up, then of course we could promote various local meetups and
Affiliate
Right.
meetings, I guess, would be important.
Yeah, so Clackamas County, Sherman County, Multnomah County have dates of meetups that we could put on here. And process for doing that would be email myself or Will. I'm not sure who else has access to the LPO calendar. Will, do you recall off the top of your head? These are basically, it's a Google Calendar. It's associated with a Gmail. If you have a Gmail account, we can add you to the LPO calendar.
Yeah, yes, I do have access to it, and I can take the podcast off there because we're not doing it on Fridays anymore anyway because of my work schedule.
Okay, so if anyone else needs to have access to that calendar, let me know. We can make that happen.
sounds
And
good.
that I believe is, oh, the other thing too, and this is a question for the group. Matt, you might be interested in this as well. We from the Secretary of State as a political party get 2 voter files a year for free. It's otherwise $500.
I think
And
it's 2 voter files per election cycle. So if there's a primary election, I think we get 2, and for a general election, we get 2.
okay,
They used to do it on an annual basis, and now I think it's linked to the election cycle.
well, I stand corrected then. In any case, we should figure out if we need another voter file before we go to, well, we would need would we need a voter file in order for us to determine the quorum of the LPO 2023 convention?
Yes, and also we'll need to pull one in order to run the director election.
Okay, so in the event that I incur costs for that, should I, I'll reach out to you and let you know. I'll double check on what our ability.
We shouldn't need to incur any costs, and if we did incur costs, I believe it's $25 to get our entire party membership. Last I
Okay.
checked.
Okay, I guess the 500 is for the full Oregon.
Right, so that would be every registered voter in the state, but just our members. Last time I did it anyway, it was $25, and I think it's because that's their minimum charge.
Excellent. All right. With that information in hand, when should we? I guess we should start
So that's
from the
part of setting
convention,
the
work our
date.
ways backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So like we need to pull a list for basically the day of the convention. And that will be the one that we're checking credentialed delegates against. And then we need to pull one a ways before then. And that will be on our cutoff date for people applying to be on the public policy or board or the board of directors. We'll pull one on that date so that we can verify that everybody who is running is in fact eligible.
Okay. I'm just making note of that. So I see there's going to be maybe at least two times we're going to need to pull a list.
Yeah.
Making note of that. And I think that concludes our my update.
All
Any
right.
questions about what I just said?
I had a question about, actually, I don't think that you'd be able to answer it yet because we haven't yet received a sample data from Election Buddy, right? We haven't generated that yet, right? Okay. Never mind. Anything else for IT before we move along? Hearing none. We'll move along. Thank you, Pablo, very much. This is my first meeting where I don't need to make any committee reports because it all got combined under your lead. So I appreciate it. All right, the affiliate committee. Katie is not here, but we have two applications that are basically pending. The Pablo forwarded to the board the application materials for Multnomah Libertarians and the Sherman County Libertarian Party. I don't recall off the top of my head the current name for Sherman County is something like Sherman County Libertarians, and then they'll name it the Libertarian Party afterward, or are they already? Or actually, Mr. West is in here, I believe, and could speak to that.
Hey, this is Travis West. We are already formed as the Sherman County Libertarian Party.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. So it's correctly displayed on the agenda unless it's supposed to be Multnomah County Libertarians.
We are registered as Multnomah Libertarians as a PAC. So
great. I got the names right. Okay, so let's do them in order. Pablo, are you willing to, would you like to share your screen and share the application materials related to Multnomah? Does that work for you? Or I can find them and display them as well.
Yeah, if you could share, that'd be great. I kind of have like a mess of windows.
And just want to tell people right now, I am creating in the LPO shared file a document that says affiliate application process, so that in the future we have an idea of how this goes, because I want to make sure, I can give very clear guidelines to people on how to form going forward.
This is taking a minute to load. I think my internet is moving more slowly than it was.
In the interim, got word from Sonia. She's accepted the nomination to the Public Relations Committee and is excited about it.
Great.
Peter, can you send me an email with just saying like who I'll like just reminding me that I need to give you and Sonia access to the Twitter and to the Facebook at some point? And then-
Certainly, Mr. Vice Chair, although I will not probably be on the Facebook.
Okay. Is Sonia on Facebook?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, Sonia can do Facebook then.
Okay. This is for Multnomah Libertarians. Can I get a sense of the voting directors who are here? Have any of you gone over the materials? Just so I can know whether I need to go more in depth or.
I have not gone over the materials. I don't know where this application document is that we're looking at.
It is in our emails. Pablo sent it 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's in your emails, but I extracted it. So there's a
Oh, I
form.
missed it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's a Google form that he pulled it from.
Okay. Could you if you have the link, you could drop it in the chat or email it to me. I'll grab it, download it, and put it in our shared file so it has a centralized location where it lives, and I can.
Well, it is in a centralized file site. It's in the Google form. It's just
I'm sorry.
unreadable as part of the like the way it goes into that Google sheet. I could send Timothy the link. He can show you, but I could tag you in it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
So I'm displaying on the screen for you, Will, the
Okay.
email.
I see it now.
And
Okay.
then
Cool.
and then it's attached.
Sorry. Okay. I will grab that.
All right. So for Multnomah Libertarians, they have a name. The Pablo filled this out. They are applying to be an affiliate at this time. They hope to be a counterparty in the future. They meet our policy prescription for an affiliated organization. They are organized for the purposes of promoting philosophy of libertarianism, particularly serving registered libertarians and promoting the Libertarian Party of Oregon and or its candidates. The collaborations that they're interested in revolve around data volunteers, resources, and IT support. They specifically would like to collaborate on appointed positions and ballot arguments, which now that we have a PB public policy board is definitely a possibility. And I'll go ahead and open up their bylaws.
If it's in order, could I just say like how grateful I am to Pablo and Marion and Tom to getting this going. This is the most populous county in Oregon. Took a lot of work to get this many people interested in this. So thank you very much to all of you. And anyone else I didn't mention.
Well, thank you, Peter. That's very gracious. We had a lot of support, but Marion is truly a rock star when it comes to bylaws, and that is definitely a weakness of mine. So these are really, really well articulated. So I'm grateful that they're so clear. And not to say, and also yourself as a former Multnomah refugee, and Will and Katie really helped us all get this off the ground, as well as Bradford Franks, who I want to say is was the first community organizer we had in Multnomah, and how I got involved.
A lot of great meetings. I remember talking to the owner of Primal Burger at the bar, finding out he was an ANCAP, telling everyone else that we should continue to have meetings there, and really cool guy. Great place if you haven't been there. I think they have a couple locations, but
And what I did mention here was that in December of last year, the Multnomah Libertarians active membership met in person and agreed that despite our inability to currently bring together 16 registered libertarians for the purpose of forming an official party, we have voted to abide by these bylaws as our governing organization until we can, become a formal party. And that is reflected in our minutes, which are available on news.multnomahlibertarians.com.
I had looked over these earlier, so I was possibly scrolling faster than others were comfortable with, but I would like to say that these are, in my opinion, an excellent model that we should promote for use by other organizations. Well done. Okay, they are registered as a political action committee. The role of officers at the time, I see, we're getting a link with a link to a live page. Great. Acting chair Pablo, acting treasurer. Hate to bug you, Pablo, but there is a missing.
Yes, I will fix that
Yeah.
immediately. Thank you.
And I've known her for quite a while. So at the moment, you only have an acting chair and treasurer. The other officer positions aren't actively being
Correct. They are vacant.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling double duty also as secretary. And we will eventually fill those roles, but for right now, we just have no personnel.
Great. Well, not great that you can, but thank you for answering the question. Okay, and then they are not a county party, so they didn't attach any of those and did not add any supplementary conditions or agreements. So is there any further discussion on this application for Multnomah Libertarians to be an affiliated organization of the Libertarian Party of Oregon? Okay, is there a motion to affiliate them?
I'll motion to affiliate the Multnomah Libertarians PAC.
Okay, Will moves.
Second.
I will second.
Kenny got the second in. All right. So Will moved and Kenny seconded to affiliate with the Multnomah Libertarian PAC. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Delayed.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Welcome on board, Multnomah Libertarians. And Pablo, I think that there's something pending that you might want some help on, and I'm happy to assist you with that right after this meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, just a moment. For the benefit of the minutes, Tim Sipple has joined the meeting.
Hi, Tim.
Hello, I'm sorry, I did it again. I thought I had my calendar corrected.
All right, we just affiliated with Multnomah Libertarians, and now we are considering the Sherman County Libertarian Party. Okay, the name of the organization, the Sherman County Libertarian Party. Travis West filled out this application. The purpose of affiliation for the SCLP is to be nested in the principles, objectives, and platform of the LPO and LNC. Through affiliation, we intend to support the LPO and LNC, and the SCLP expects support in return. Affiliation brings unification, branding, and strategic focus. The benefits of affiliation for the Sherman County Libertarian Party are those benefits listed in the LPO's affiliate policy. Benefits of affiliation for the LPO includes inevitable increases in recruitment and funding from an active and energetic county party that intends to turn Sherman County into a liberty sanctuary. The SCLP will volunteer for, promote, and endorse LPO candidate activities and candidates. It looks like recruitment is their biggest focus. They're comfortable with a standard relationship. All right.
tremendous work here, Travis. Just really happy with what you've been doing.
Thanks, Peter.
I'm scrolling a little bit faster because there is a lot of overlap with the bylaws that we just looked at for Multnomah Libertarian. But if anyone wants me to slow down, I can. Also, those of you who are directors, you have this in your email box. It was sent 2 days ago by Pablo to the director list.
I don't see that email.
The title of it is forwarded, and then I think it's Sherman in Multnomah County. I'll
No, I
switch
didn't
over
get
to
it.
that.
I'll be right back.
You didn't get this, Tim?
Nope.
Interesting.
Last mail before your mail today was December 14th. Nothing in between.
I wonder if your LPO box is full, although it should also be going to your personal Gmail. That's potentially problematic. All right, I'm going to send it directly to you right now.
Oh, I do have it from in my Gmail from Pablo.
Oh, well then I'm not going to send it.
Sorry, I missed that.
I am flattered, but this is a little bit weird, and I wonder if it's a typo. Travis and or Marion might be able to chime in on this.
It appears to be a typo. It probably should say SCLP chair.
That's what I would tend to assume. Something that you guys might want to get corrected. but probably not enough to stop us from affiliating with you this evening.
You don't want to be involved?
Like I said, I'm flattered, but I bet that it was not the intent.
You're gonna have to start attending our meetings, I think.
Yeah, have to help break those ties. Okay, and then roll of officers. Is this roll of officers still current?
It is current, except for the secretary position has been filled.
Can you tell us who that was filled by? Just so that we have it.
It's Josh Ball was appointed secretary, I believe, in the very next meeting.
Okay, great.
I believe we had a comment from Marion in the chat to clarify the typo.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain because this isn't the time of day when I'm effective, but for some reason I feel like that's it may be a way to make quorum in an emergency.
Okay, that that's an unusual thing, but it's up to you guys. So, all right, and then back to the main document. They have a website, shermanliberty.org. Encourage everyone to check that out. Did anyone need any further consideration of the materials we just went over? I should say, do any of the voting directors need further time for consideration? Okay, I'm not hearing so. And in which case I believe it would be in order for a motion to be made at this time.
I would like to make a motion to affiliate the Sherman County Libertarian Party with Libertarian Party of Oregon.
I second.
Pablo moves and Will seconds. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? We have our first county party. Welcome aboard.
Momentous occasion.
How many years has it been since there's been a county party in Oregon?
So there haven't been since 2011.
Wow.
When the current iteration of the bylaws was implemented.
Thanks for making us look good, Travis.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, great job.
Really happy to have Travis here. Not gonna lie, the first time I talked to him, I was like, I gotta make sure he's not a Fed. But honestly, he's one of the best people in this party right now. So continue to do great work.
Thanks, Peter.
All right, that was Multnomah and Sherman. However, I believe, Peter, you had something else you wanted to bring up under the affiliate heading, and so I'd like to give you the opportunity at this time.
Sure, if I could give just a quick update on Clackamas County. We had our first official meeting at the Wichita Town Pub roughly a month ago, a place where all revolutionaries would be happy to meet. We had 10 in attendance. We have another meeting scheduled for this Sunday. Unfortunately, our original location closed, so we're deciding on where the next meeting will be, but we expect to have the same amount of people, and we're working on forming a pack, working with Sonia on that, who's also in Clackamas County. We have 2 events on the horizon, date to be TBD, but they will take place in February. We're going to have a gun cleaning event, really important to know how to shoot guns, equally important to know how to clean them. to make sure that they actually work when you need to shoot them. So Bradley's helping us organize that. We're also going to have a One True Libertarian pool tournament to raise proceeds for the LPO convention in May. Taylor has graciously offered to both donate his trophy and then fight to take it back. So really excited about that.
That is a lot. Thank you so much. Do you already know the number needed to create a affiliate in Clackamas County?
I want to say it is the most lucky 13, but I guess Pablo could correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay. That's very close for your first meeting. Well done.
Appreciate that.
Per October 2022 numbers, it is 11. The magic number is 11, and you can find that in this doc here, and it's also linked to the in the LPO resources for starting your county's libertarian organization here. So I've linked to those both.
New Year's resolution: we will have an affiliated party in Clackamas County in the next 3 months.
All right. Way to go. Exciting stuff. Thank you very much for that update. Is there anything else for the affiliate heading under our agenda?
I just want to say that Katie, I've been talking to her on Facebook because she lost her phone and again, and she was requesting that a meeting be set up, and an in-person meeting that she is going to pick out the location for, but we agreed on a date and time. That date and time is, computer's loading, Tuesday, January 24th at 6 p.m. somewhere probably in the Portland metro area. So I'm going to get her to give me a specific location, and then we will have a meeting of the affiliate committee. So.
Oh, okay. Great. Do you have the membership of the affiliate committee handy?
I do. Give me 5 seconds to pull it up. It is, okay, that was more than 5 seconds. Affiliate committee, where is it? The current membership is Katie Brumbelow is the chair. Then there's me, Will Hobson, and then Eden Parker, and then Peter Van Berg.
Great. Thank you very much. All right, moving along then, unless there's anything else for the affiliate committee.
There's
the member development committee, and whoop, I accidentally hit something I did not mean to hit. All right. Unfortunately, I don't have minutes from quite a few of our recent meetings, and so I'm not certain whether Peter is correct on his having been replaced with Bradley.
That's okay, Mr. Chair. If it's all right, I have a report to read out to the board, and then we can make that recommendation at the end.
Great.
All right, so for the member development committee, I would encourage we continue to focus on social media outreach and events as a way to increase membership to the LPO. I would also say that I'm happy to report that my wife is committed to giving birth to a baby boy at the end of June, which I'm pretty excited about. I guess in other news, I was nominated to be the Public Policy Board Vice Chair. I'm working pretty heavily with them. I plan to run for this position at the convention as well. Also happy to report that a company that I've been working for a long time, I'm not going to mention the name on YouTube, we have a lot of big things coming. We've been working with the Multnomah County Sheriff, and we're excited to report that we're going to have a lot of things coming here in the next couple months. But I would also, I guess, say that really happy to promote, if the board will heed my recommendation, Brad to be the head of this committee. I would still like to work on this committee and be part of organizing the events. It is rather unfortunate that a former board member made the decision to nuke, I guess is the best way to say, our meetup group, which he lost about access to 700 members of the LPO. But really happy that former committee member, or also current committee member, sorry, Pablo has been working really hard to promote the Eventbrite, which I think we will continue to use to promote our events. But if no questions, I would be interested to hear if anyone would like to recommend Brad to be the head of this committee.
Brad, are you willing to accept? And do you have anything to say before we give you a job?
I would be willing to accept it. I would look forward to Peter's guidance on how to continue forward on that.
Could we have just restate the purpose of the membership development committee again?
Right. So it has been a long time since this committee was formed. And I don't recall exactly what might have been stated at the time that happened. The kind of the two things that I know that it's supposed to do are to basically recruit new members of the LPO through especially like events such as a state fair booth or a county fair booth or what have you, and then also to engage our members productively. So possibly holding like a LPO barbecue or things along those lines. So kind of events focused, whereas public relations is more in the information realm. But it has been, again, quite a while since this committee was originally formed. So I would have to do some digging through older minutes to find out exactly.
As the
what was
current
said.
director, I would agree with Mr. Chair that events seem to be like the best thing that separate it from the other director membership. And I think that's something we should focus on.
And I do think that just like with the PR committee, now that we have a public policy board, there's potentially interplay, such as organizing a protest at the Capitol over some horrible legislation, or what have you. Whereas the public relations would be more about spreading the message and getting the message out about such events. But the member development committee would probably organize it. So just some food for thought. Is there anyone who would, including yourself, Brad, is there anyone who would like to move to make Brad the chair of this committee?
I would like to move that Brad Lee be the chair of the member development committee.
I second.
And Will seconds. All in favor of Brad Lee being placed as the chair of the member development committee, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right.
So this places Brad on the committee or as the,
As
I'm
the
sorry.
chair.
Okay, sorry, the chair. Okay, just want to make sure for a second. Like it's pretty.
I
pretty
believe
that's
that was
what we just
Pablo's
voted on.
motion. If I'm incorrect, then the record will show it. But that's what I thought Pablo said.
Yeah, that is. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I thought I heard it differently, and I must have been mistaken. So okay, cool. All right.
All right. Congratulations. And unless there's anything else, we can continue. Okay. There are no special orders. Unfinished new business. 2023 LPO Convention Committee. Will.
Yeah, so we I have
I
put down the,
apologize. I need to interrupt myself because I just remembered something. So I'm going to call a point of order on myself. There was already, moving back to the Sherman County Libertarian Party application, and I'm so sorry to just cut you off like that, Will. There was already a pending motion made by Taylor Rickey and seconded by Brad Lee in the director email. And technically that motion should have been what we were resolving. So I goofed up there, asked for a new motion. We can, I just want to make sure that we did the right, we affiliated them the right way. So unless like I'm open if somebody wants to do this a different way, but what I'm going to suggest that we do is we refer back to Taylor's motion that had been made previously with Brad already having seconded it, and we vote on that motion.
I'm
Is,
second that.
is the,
Go ahead, or who's speaking?
I was trying to ask a question and
Sorry,
Will
go
was
ahead, Kenny.
also, we were both talking. Is the motion substantially the same?
Yes.
Could we treat the voting we did here as continued voting on the email motion?
We could move to have the record reflect such.
So moved.
I do not object to this.
Kenny moves. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Sorry, had to go back, clean up the mess that I made. My apologies. So Taylor, when you're doing these minutes later, you made the motion and Bradley seconded it. And it was a continuation of the email motion to affiliate with Sherman County Libertarian Party. All right. Now we can move back to where we were on the agenda again. My apologies for that goof up, and look at the 2023 convention. Go ahead, Will.
Yes. So I did go to Sean Gardner Dance Studio on the 20th of December, and we now have an event rental agreement with them. I did put down $1,000 of my own money to put on the deposit. I would love it if the board would reimburse me for that. And then the board can take the deposit back from Sean Gardner after a successful event has been taking place there. And I have the event rental documents that I signed, and I can forward that on to the rest of the board and the convention committee. But yes, we are now locked in for May 28th, 2023. That is a Sunday. That is Memorial Day weekend. It is my hope that we can organize maybe some more kind of free-spirited, fun events on the Saturday prior. I was thinking maybe we could do like an LPO hike up in the West Hills, maybe ending at like an outdoor amphitheater, and maybe have some speakers out in nature. Be the real kind of like crunchy hippie libertarians that we are. Then maybe I am working right now to try to get some big name speakers at the event in person. I am working with the Mises Caucus event coordinators to try to see if they can bring someone out for us and not have to get charged for that. That would be great. Maybe even get some donations in from them to help fund our convention. Yes, Tom Woods has never been to Oregon. It is one of the 2 states he's never been to. And I did hear on his podcast, he was thinking about getting out here. So I am going to try to reach out to him directly I might have an in, but we'll see. That's an interesting suggestion list, Travis. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Yeah, the convention, the business is gonna be one day, so I know we have some bylaws that we're cooking up right now, some things we might want to change. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's gonna be good. And I think we need to set a time. I have a flyer that's ready to go out. But I think we're missing 2 members of our committee, of our convention committee on here, so I don't want to ask to set a specific morning start time. I'm trying to remember what we set for the one that we did in 2021. I think it was like
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Okay.
Like
maybe
9 a.m. was when we were hoping people would get there.
Right.
We opened registration then, but like
Yeah.
8 a.m. was set up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So we, I was going to say the times that we have available to us, we can get there at 6 a.m. As early as 6 a.m. And for us early birds that want to be awesome volunteers and to set things up. And then we would need to be finished cleaning and out by 11:30 p.m. And I feel like that's pretty doable. And the owner of the venue, Sean Gardner, will be there that day to make sure everything goes swimmingly. So, and to help us out.
Okay.
Did anyone have any questions?
Yeah. I guess I have a question. Is there anything that this board needs to take action on right now besides reimbursing you?
I guess I don't want to step on Taylor or Leon's toes about, like, I don't think they would get really upset about setting a morning start time, but maybe we could, if we can get a morning start time, I can change the flyer and I can start sending that out, and it'd be really nice to have like a morning start time. If you think it wouldn't, since we have 3 members of the committee, if the committee is interested in just kind of, since we're going kind of late tonight, foregoing the meeting this evening after this board meeting and just picking out a morning start time, that might.
So I guess I'll put it to those of us who are here. What do people think about a start time for Tigard, considering that people probably will be trying to drive a distance in the morning? So some people might come find a hotel depending on how far away they are. But some people will be, getting up and driving 3 hours. What do we want to do for a start time? Any thoughts? Just soliciting opinions. That's all we're doing right now.
I think we should aspire to like a 9 a.m. with the understanding that things will happen, and the best lit Pines of Mice and Men will run later. But yeah, I think a 9 a.m. start time is reasonable aspiration, if not aspiration.
Marion, do you have any thoughts on this? Should we wait till Taylor and Leon are available?
Well, my only issue is that right now I'm actually waiting for this meeting to end so we can start our meeting, and Leon is in the meeting room waiting for us to start the meeting.
Okay, do you want to ask him to come into this meeting and we can just do that real quick?
Well,
all right.
I'm sure Taylor would be fine with us picking a morning time just for expediency. I'll make it up to him if he had a strong opinion. He's pretty close, so I don't feel like he's going to have to drive too far.
do you need the link at all, Marion?
I think she's getting it to him. I see her typing on Discord. Hold on. Okay, I got it. I'll get it to her. Copy.
So Will, this board doesn't necessarily need to set the start time, right? The committee has that ability.
Yeah, I wanted the convention committee to do it as much as possible. So I think Taylor will be, it doesn't look like he's at this meeting, and it doesn't look like he'll be available for our meeting after this. So I think we're just going to forego the convention committee meeting since we're going a little bit later, and we're just going to make this really quick decision, and then we can talk via email about all the other stuff. So yeah, we can keep moving on. So if somebody would be willing to put in the motion to recompensate me for the deposit, that would be great. We could take care of that.
Was it $1,000 even?
Yes, it was $1,000 even.
I move that we that the LPO reimburse Will Hobson for his deposit for the 2023 LPO convention to the amount of $1,000.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I will second, as long as we're using the word reimbursement and not compensate.
I believe that was the word that was settled on.
Okay.
All right. Pablo moves. Kenny seconds. This is going to require a roll call. So just one moment. All right. Will.
Aye.
Brad.
Aye.
Pablo.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Tim.
Aye.
William.
Aye.
Willie. And I will vote aye. All right, that was, I believe, everyone that is present.
Do you need my address, Kenny?
Yeah, just confirm it with me via text and we'll be good.
Okay, I'll send it to you right now.
Okay, anything further under this item?
Since Leon's here, Leon, if you are comfortable, it sounded like we wanted to set a start time for the convention at 9 a.m. Did you have any objection for that? Would you like it to be later or earlier?
I don't have any objection.
Okay, all right. Then this is just for the convention committee. I would like to motion our very, very short meeting of the convention committee tonight, that we set the start time of the 2023 LPO convention to 9 a.m. on May 28th, Sunday, 2023.
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay.
I don't have any opinion.
I don't know if I'm voting, but
You
I
are.
say aye to this one. Okay, good. I'm
Great.
good.
Okay.
Fine with it.
Yeah. Okay. So
Mini meeting called within the meeting.
So now everyone, the convention specifically starts at 9 a.m. on May 28th, 2023.
Good stuff.
And that's all I have tonight. So we'll do some more stuff via email.
Okay, does anyone else have
This week.
convention related questions, comments, concerns?
I am studying changes to the bylaws that I would like to explore making. So if anyone has any ideas, concerns, or potential directions we can go with the LPO bylaws that would be appropriate to make a convention, please get in touch with me.
Okay, we could constitute an official bylaws committee. Just letting you know that's an option.
I'm open to it. I'm not sure what the will of the board is. I kind of been doing this as an independent side project. But yeah, if there is a will, if the will of the body for the good of the order, et cetera, would like to have a committee for this, please let's talk about that now.
I'd entertain it. Are there specific problems you're looking to address?
Yeah, the bylaws are currently very prescriptive when it comes to the time and date, the year, time of year of the LPO convention. The bylaws are overly specific with the method of vote counting that we use, the right method of voting, single transferable vote. The bylaws are also highly prescriptive in that we optimize our efforts to run as many partisan offices in the state of Oregon. And I think, to me, that deprioritizes the winnable, realistic roles, which are actually probably more important to freedom and liberty, which are the nonpartisan offices of city council, sheriff, and school board. And so I would like to address that.
Kenny, I believe you've served on a couple of bylaws committees, right?
Yeah, but I don't recall actually doing much of anything with them.
Okay, well, I remember you being there, so I would be willing to serve on such a committee if it were to be formed, and I think that there's at least one other person in here who probably would be as well.
Ugh, fine.
Thank you, Marianne.
Mr. Chair, is a motion then in order to establish
It would be.
a bylaw review committee?
We should check if anyone else is interested. Probably, but I think I'm hearing at least 3 names: yourself, myself, and Marion. Is there anyone else who is interested? Okay. If you'd like to make a motion.
I would like to move that we establish a bylaw review committee. That
In the past, we've just called it a bylaws committee.
a bylaws committee. I would like to, thank you for the correction. I would like to move to establish a bylaws committee.
And the membership being?
With the membership being Timothy, Marion, and myself.
Okay, great.
I second.
Pablo moved, Tim second. Is there any objection? You know what? I'll actually just go ahead and ask for ayes. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, great.
Sorry, who was on it again? Timothy, you're on it?
Pablo, Timothy, and Marion.
Pablo, Timothy, and Marion. Okay. The bylaws committee is resurrected. And who's the chair?
And I'm going to put Pablo interim, but technically that wasn't prescribed. And so we'll see when the committee meets if they choose a chair.
We could choose one for them, right?
We could. I'm just saying it wasn't part of the motion.
Then I move that we make Timothy the chair, just because it's not the way he was going to set it up.
I would like to second the chair of the bylaws committee being Timothy.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there discussion? Is there objection? Okay. All in favor of Timothy of myself being the chair of the bylaws committee, please say aye.
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 Nay. It is done.
You're welcome, Timothy.
Okay. Is that everything for the convention? All right. Now we'll move to the director 2023 LPO director elections. This is myself and Pablo. It's not necessarily a committee thing. It's kind of an IT thing, but we're the ones working on it. Pablo, you already addressed most of it earlier, I think. Anything to add or just recap?
Just a quick recap is that in the past, how far in advance have you had directors going into the convention? Because I'm thinking in terms of timeline that I'd like to establish. I'd like to work backwards from.
The bylaws, I believe, I could be incorrect. I believe they just say that it has to be concluded at such a time that the winners can be announced at convention, which is March 28th at 9 a.m.
May 20, got it. All right.
And
Thank you.
so obviously
It's-
we've tried to be well ahead of that, but hasn't always been as far ahead of that as we might have wanted. Okay, any questions, comments, or concerns on this item? Hearing none. Open forum. Observers may speak on any item that they wish. So don't restrict yourself to this awesome agenda. Anything else that isn't covered here, we want to hear from you, preferably pertaining to LPO business, but I'm going to sneak in at this time another congratulations to Peter and Heidi for their upcoming boy.
Yes, and now I will make my congratulations official now, although I've already congratulated Peter. Congratulations on making more libertarians.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, I would like to ask, was anyone else was anyone else going to DC for this, or am I going to be the representative in the unofficial capacity for the Libertarian Party of Oregon? Or does everyone know about that? I'll drop it in the chat if not everyone knows about it.
As an observer, is it possible we could make Will's delegation official?
We cannot. The Public Policy Board may be able to.
All right, Travis, let's do that.
Can I comment?
Please.
It's more of a question, actually. Timothy, what are the implications of the Public Policy Board sending Will in the official capacity?
So I haven't thought this all the way through. I just know that this board can't. So if the Public Policy Board can, or if the LPO can, then the Public Policy Board would be the ones to do so. I'll have to double check what all they're authorized to do under.
Right, because I
under
could
the
see,
bylaws,
I could
but-
see us freeing him to speak at will, because I think most of us trust him to do that. But I wonder if us sending him in an official capacity encumbers the board to cover his expenses.
I don't believe so. It would be, oh, you're making this trip? Okay, well, on your way, you are authorized to speak on our behalf on this matter. Or maybe within these
that would be
guidelines.
fine. Yeah. I don't need the LPO to compensate my plane ticket. I realize that's my personal expense.
Perfect. Those are all the questions I had. Thank you so much, guys.
All right. Anything else for open forum? Going once. Okay, the next board meeting is set by policy for February 8th, 2022, not 2022. There was an error. 2023.
Back in time.
We are going back in time, baby. All right. At 7 p.m. Does that have anybody have a conflict that they're aware of? Okay, and once again, I'd love to see your mugs in person. So that's all. Have a good night,
Yeah,
everyone.
good night.
Timothy, we're gonna stay on chat, or when you stop recording.